Doing the holidays on a budget can be tricky. We're going to give you some help today. Hey, I'm Hope.
And I'm Larry.
From Under the Median. Now, when it comes to the holidays, we all want to celebrate with family and friends, but it's a really, really bad idea to go into debt to do it. In this program, we're going to show you how to set the absolute perfect tight budget holiday gift list. Then when you're done with the list, just in case it's still a wee bit too tight for you, we're going to give you 7 ways that you can cut down and right size that holiday gift list without sacrificing having a whole lot of fun and being festive.
Hey, we've got a new sponsor for this show.
We do, Creekmur Wealth Advisors. Now that name may sound a little familiar to some of you. It's because John Creekmur is our personal financial planner. And we invited John on as a guest on the program a couple of months ago, and he spent 2 programs with me answering all of your questions about retirement. Well, he was so excited by the amazing reception that y'all gave him that he came back and said, I would love to sponsor some programs. So this is his very first sponsored program. Now, a couple of the reasons we love Creekmur Wealth Advisors, well, we've been with them for a really long time.
Long time, yeah.
And the great thing about John and his crew over there is the fact that they really honestly care about you. You are far, far, far more than a number to them. You are a person to them, and they know all about your family. They know what your goals, your desires, what you really want to do with your money, and they do everything possible in their power to make sure that they are honoring your wishes as to how you would like to have your money invested. Mm-hmm. Now, John offers all kinds of financial planning advice as well, of course, as investments, and he can do that for you only if you live in the 50 United States, guys. But if you do, he would love to make connections with you and answer all of your questions. There's a link to Creekmur Wealth Advisors in the description of the video. Be sure to tell him that Hope and Larry sent you when you call, will you?
Oh, yeah. He's done such a good job for us. We've been very pleased. Well, let's talk about Christmas gifts. You know, Hope did some research online, and we discovered some trends about how a lot of people spend their money on Christmas. So we found out that 1 in 5 Americans go into debt for Christmas.
Yeah, another startling statistic is the fact that if you're one of those 1 in 5 Americans that goes into debt, it's far more likely than average that you don't have any idea how you're even going to pay that debt back.
Yeah, and then in 2020, you know, the year of the pandemic.
The virus who shall not be named.
Well, we all know what it is. At the height of that, there were those that went into holiday debt and borrowed as much as $1,400.
And that's what they borrowed. That's what they borrowed. Now, what is fascinating to me, because we actually did a program a while back where we talked about the fact that savings rates go up tremendously in a time of economic crisis, or, you know, in this case, a worldwide pandemic crisis. And personal financial savings was massively up in 2020. And yet, despite that, we had a whole lot of people, more than average, that went into debt to the tune of $1,400. And that's what they borrowed for Christmas. I don't know if they spent some of their other money before they borrowed that or not.
And that was up 40% from the year 2015.
Right. So they've been tracking these trends for 5 years. And that was 40% more than it was in 2015. So interesting, but kind of scary, sobering statistics, I would say, at the same time. One more statistic for you.
Well, 50% of us actually set a Christmas budget.
Good news, right?
But did you know that only 6 in 10 will stick to that budget?
All right, on this channel, we want you to be better than average, guys. We're going to show you how to set that Christmas gift budget, and we're going to show you exactly how you can stick to the Christmas gift budget.
And in a way that you're not going to need to go into debt.
That's right. Now, this 3-step process that we're about to share with you, we have used this 3-step process personally. This is exactly, and I do mean exactly, how we set our Christmas gift budget every single year. And we have used this same system for well over 20 years. So let's get started. Step number 1.
make a prioritized gift list. That's kind of Hope's favorite word.
I was just getting ready. I was so excited when I say that word. Prioritize. Now, guys, if you've watched this channel for any length of time, you know that I say the word prioritized often. I say it a lot. And I have just the same degree of excitement every single time I say that word. Here is why. It is so critically important that every time you make a goal, you make a list, that it be prioritized. You're going to break that goal, or in this case, break the list down into smaller increments, and the most important items go at the top. Why? Because that's what your brain sees first. Your brain is constantly trying to make sense out of anything that it sees in front of it. And what your brain wants to know and see and recognize immediately is that the people at the top of the list, those are the people that you want to make sure that you give gifts to. Now, it doesn't mean they're more important than the people at the bottom of the list. The only reason it's prioritized is the people you're going to spend the most amount of money are at the top. 2 reasons this is important. I'm going to share them to you really, really quickly. When your list is prioritized, if you should happen to decide, and we have frequently decided that we need to sort of make some changes in said Christmas gift list, it's so easy for you to start at the top and say, these are the people I'm spending the most money on. These are the people at the bottom of the list. Makes it real easy for you to change the amounts that you are spending on each person. It also makes it really easy if you have a group of people at the bottom that, let's say you're going to make a homemade gift. I've done this many, many years, guys, made homemade gifts for teacher gifts and things like that. If you're going to make them all something that is homemade, you can put brackets, physical brackets. I like to use, usually I have a marker here on the table, guys. I don't have, I've got a pen. All right, pretend this is a marker, a colored marker. You're going to put brackets physically on that list around that part of the gift list, and it makes it easy for you to be able to look at it instantly and say, oh, those are the people that are all grouped together. They're all going to get the same homemade gift. That's why I tell you to prioritize it and make sure that you have people grouped together.
Yeah, and you can prioritize this list according to your particular needs. Whatever you can tailor it to your own family, your own situation.
Speaking of tailoring the list to your needs, we're going to give you kind of a list that we came up with of people that you may need to have on your list. We're just going to run through it super quickly just to maybe remind you of some people that should be on your list that maybe aren't on your Christmas gift list yet.
And can I say, we've made some adjustments to our prioritized list over the years. We started out when we were first married with this huge long list, and we gradually eliminated quite a bit off the bottom of that list. And so that kind of condensed down what we're actually buying Christmas gifts for and who. So the first category on that list, for us at least, would be immediate family members. These are the most important people on your list that you're going to want to buy for. And you're probably going to want to spend a little more money on sons and daughters and husbands and wives and girlfriends and boyfriends and parents.
Don't forget your parents, guys, just saying.
Yeah, parents, grandparents. You might even consider a pet as an immediate family member. But those should be the very first thing on your list.
All right, so then you've got your extended family members under that, guys. Now, after this, the list, I think we put the rest of the list a little bit in some random order. So the order that we give it to you in doesn't indicate that those are the people that should be at the top or the bottom of the list. All right, so after that, we have friends. We have friends that we've exchanged with for years and years. You want some fun ways to exchange gifts with friends that isn't going to cost you a lot of money. Make sure you're listening to the end of the program, because we're going to share 7 different really great ways that you can right size your holiday gift list without sacrificing, having some fun, and being festive and being merry.
And being frugal.
That's right. All at the same time, which is the perfect trifecta, right?
Yeah, family, friends, and frugality.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so you got friends, co-workers. How about your boss? Is it like a group gift that everybody, pitches a little bit of money into, or is it something that you're going to purchase on your own? You just need to know that. If everybody gives $25 toward the supervisor gift, then you want to make sure that should be on your Christmas gift list. Don't forget to add it because it's money you're going to have to spend.
You'll also have school teachers and maybe administrative staff on a school. We belong to a co-op, and that's where the teachers are actually the mothers and fathers of some of the families that belong to it. But they do a gift exchange, and so we have to consider that on our list.
Okay, how about your neighbors? We lived for 18 years in an incredibly close-knit neighborhood. I had keys to most of the houses up and down the street because I was the stay-at-home parent that if they left on vacation or needed to have their plants watered or they were expecting a package, they were like, here's my house key, just put it inside.
And in good weather, we'd oftentimes meet out in the street.
Yes.
And there would be maybe 4 or 5 of us from different homes talking about, different things about the neighborhood and what we're doing and how we're, what we're doing for that week or whatever. But it was very close knit. And so we did do some exchanging. Hope would make a lot of homemade gifts for that.
Now, how about student gift exchanges at your children's school? That can get kind of pricey. I'm here to tell you from firsthand experience, guys, that once your kids get into like different like organizations and things, that nickeling and diming gift, that can get, I call it nickeling and diming because you're not expecting it, right? And all of a sudden you're like, well, we need $5 because all of the families are pitching in $5 to buy a gift for the instructor. Oh, and now we're doing a student gift exchange. And oh, now we need you to bring 5 dozen cookies for this. And oh, we need, and so it kind of goes on and on. If you're aware of that ahead of time, just budget for it. Put it in your gift list.
And maybe at your place of employment, you do a secret Santa gift exchange. Now, I don't think guys do this very much. I've never,
guys, if you're listening and you're a guy, do y'all do secret Santas with your friends? Larry's like, I'm not secret Santa-ing with my friends.
No,
we used to do that all the time. Like in the ladies groups at church, we all did secret Santas. So maybe that is a ladies thing.
I think it is.
Everybody, do y'all know what secret Santa is? It's where you pick a name anonymously. Everybody puts their name in a hat and you pick it. And you don't tell the person you have their name, but you start leaving them little gifts where they can find them throughout the Christmas season. It's like, usually it's 4 or 5 little gifts that you buy them. And then at the end, you announce, like, you reveal who you were. You were their secret Santa. If you don't do that, guys, consider it. It's super easy and it's a whole lot of fun.
The closest thing I've come to this, and I don't think it was around Christmas time, one of my coworkers, when I worked for the television station, knew that I liked old records. Oh. And he kept leaving me these 78 RPM jazz records on my desk at work. I never did find out who was doing it.
Now you guys know what to send to Larry in case you want to be a secret Santa. The 78 RPM jazz records.
Well, they don't go through the mail very well. They do not go through the mail
well.
Yeah.
All right, postal workers. You know what? I put this in here just because I want to give you guys a heads up. If you want to express appreciation for that postal worker, don't do it in cash. In the United States, it is illegal for postal workers to accept cash. So show your appreciation in another way.
This reminds me of a story when I used to be a paper boy.
Yeah.
I was doing that in the winter, very cold, dark, and I went to one of my homes, and the gal there had prepared a cup of hot chocolate for me. She knew about what time I was going to stop, and I was freezing, and she gave me that cup of hot chocolate. I'll never forget that act of kindness. That was so nice. So you might consider your newspaper delivery person or any other person that serves you, anyone that serves you, if you feel you'd like to express thanks. That's a wonderful way to do it.
And Larry's story really brings to my mind the fact that these tokens of appreciation, guys, they don't need to be costly. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it is really important that we remember to express kindness and love and generosity of spirit with others at Christmas. We truly do believe in that. That's important to us as well. But that doesn't mean that you need to go into debt or break the bank to do it or, completely obliterate your budget for, January, February, March, trying to pay your best self back for what you spent at Christmas time. So think a little bit out of the box and do something that just lets that person know, I truly, truly appreciate you. Another person you might want to appreciate, how about your barber? We all want our barbers to know, or our hairdressers. They got our back the rest of the year, guys, or at least our hair. They have our hair the rest of the year, except mine. I do my own hair. So, you want to make sure that you let them know, give them a nice tip.
Yep. Next thing, if you have some people working in your home, like maybe you have a housekeeper, or maybe you have a nanny taking care of your kids, consider them on the list. Another thing would be your building superintendent if you live in an apartment complex, or even the maintenance workers. These are people that are often overlooked.
Okay, that's our list, guys. So if we forgot somebody on our list, drop a note for us in the comment section, will you? And say, hey, here's someone else that I really show appreciation to. And the other viewers might want to put this on their Christmas gift list so they don't forget that person as well. Now, step number 2, you got this great prioritized list. Remember, prioritize the people you're going to spend the most on are going to be toward the top. Those that you're not going to spend so much on are going to be toward the bottom. But the spend so much on, that's number 2, is the spend part.
Yeah, well, you want to set an amount to spend on each gift. That will help you stay on budget and not go into debt.
Now, trust us, we know from long experience, guys, you want to put all the names on the list first and then assign an amount that you plan to spend on each person. Why? Because how many times have we done it like the opposite? We start going through the list, and we've done it like a million times. We start going, oh, well, let's see, there's the boys. We're going to spend, $75 or $100 on each of them. And then we're going to go, and we forget somebody. See, that's why we're telling you to get all the names on the list first and then assign the amount that you're going to spend on each person. It becomes far less likely you're actually going to forget to go back and add somebody that you intended to add to the list. So we got a prioritized list, and we know about how much we're going to spend on each person. I'm going to show you guys. So here's the form. I'm going to show you some forms throughout the program, guys. I love to share things with you. So these forms that I'm showing you, they're available and they're free. And I put them in a little ebook, a debt-free Christmas gift ebook, and there'll be a link, you know where to find it, in the description of the video. Step number 3, this is the final step.
Well, you want to take all of those amounts, add them up, and get a total at the bottom of the page.
Now, how's that total making you feel? Are you happy? Are you smiling? You're going, oh, holy cow. Now, we should tell you the other tip about making the list is do it in pencil. I should have mentioned that earlier. So if you're filling yours out while you're watching and you're doing it in pen, I'm really sorry. We do it in pencil because 9 times out of 10 easily. How many years would you say that we've gone that we haven't had to make at least some changes?
We've always had to make changes, always. And I might say too, some people might have purchased quite a few of their gifts already by now.
Yes.
So you can take those prices in and that you paid, and there you go. Those are locked in now, so you'll know exactly what you have spent.
Even if you've got most of your shopping done, go ahead and request the free ebook, guys, because this will be helpful for you to go through and list the people you've already bought for and how much you spent on each of those people, and that'll help you going forward. It really helps for next Christmas too to be able to look back at your list and say, aha, that's what I spent last year. Because I'm going to say at our age, our memory wanes, I don't know, within about 48 hours. But, maybe you have a little long-term memory than we do, a little longer term. But even after 12 months, most of us, despite our best intentions, are going to forget what we spent last year for Christmas on each person. So you're going to add up those amounts. Now, either that amount is going to make you super pleased or it's going to make you a wee bit concerned. Now, this is where we swing into what do you do if you need to change some of the items on that gift list. You need to change the amount you're spending on some of those people because it's just too much. So the first thing that I do in that case, guys, is I start from the bottom of the list. And I use a colored marker. Once again, don't have a marker with me, but I actually put a bracket around part of the list, and those are the people that I'm going to DIY something for, all right? Because I know that I can do that fairly inexpensively. I put a bracket, And I make it a specific color. You make it green. The people you're DIYing for, you always know when you look at your list, then you're like, oh, green. Green is DIY. Those are the people I'm DIYing. And you put a bracket around the people you're going to make the same gift for. This is so helpful. Seriously, I've also done this for years because it reminds you, oh, wait a minute, those people are all taken care of. I'm going to DIY. I know about how much it's going to cost me totally. You take that amount. If it's going to take you $30 to do your DIY project, and that $30 is enough to create gifts for 10 people, you do a little math, and I like easy math, so that means you're going to put $3 per person in that third column as to how much you're spending on each of those people. So that's all filled in, and you know that's taken care of already. DIY gifts. It's a great way to reduce your overall Christmas gift budget. We're going to swing into 6 more ways that will help you to right size that gift budget this year.
Well, another thing that you can do to reduce your total outlay on gifts is to reduce the number of people on your gift list. Now, I know this isn't a very popular thing, but yeah, but you know, I mean, we honestly had to call our friends and just tell some of our friends we're just not going to be able to participate this year. And actually, they were relieved. They actually felt good about it. They didn't care. We got together and had a lot of fun anyway. So that is a good thing to do. You don't have to buy for everybody, but take some of the people that are maybe on the bottom of that list and just, if you can eliminate them, that's fine. I had a boss at work. We used to exchange with our supervisors, and this supervisor did not celebrate Christmas and did not want any gifts given to them. So that eliminated that gift. And now we really don't buy much. I don't buy for my supervisors. I buy for my coworker, but not for the supervisors.
Now, speaking of celebrating with friends, guys, our open and honest communication with our friends actually resulted in an amazing new tradition. They were instantly relieved, and they're like, yeah, you know what? Look, we all had like a house full of kids. The kids had all grown up together, and we're like, you know what's the most important thing to us? Is seeing each other. All the grown kids come back and they come to this party we have. We do it sometime between Christmas and New Year's. We wait till after Christmas. That week where most of us are off of work anyway, we get together for a potluck meal. We all come, the grown kids come, and we all bring a white elephant gift.
Or a gag gift.
A gag gift. And we get together and we exchange these gag gifts, and it is so much fun. We spend all year looking around when we see something, we go, oh, that would be perfect for the Christmas get together with our friends. They spend a lot of time and effort trying to find the funniest, most interesting, most unusual things to open for the white elephant gag gift exchange.
And these are usually used items, not new items. Some of them will actually just pick up
deliberately used.
Well, I mean, they'll pick up some items they might have around their house. We went to a thrift store. It was a Salvation Army store that's now closed. But we spent, I think, $14 on all of the gifts. We bought 6 gifts. We didn't spend a lot of money on them. They were hilarious. I mean, there was just roars of laughter at some of the stuff that we picked up. I can't remember what some of them were.
Didn't we find like one of those leg lamps? You guys know what I'm talking about? Like in the Christmas Story, one of those lamps that looks like a big leg. We found a lamp.
It was similar. It was similar.
And it was
that.
Like everybody at the gag gift exchange was like trying to steal that gift.
It was a goofy
for
lamp.
themselves. It was a weird looking, and we got it from Salvation Army for like $3 or something.
Right.
And everybody wanted it. So our suggestion to you is continue to celebrate, continue to be merry with your friends, but see if maybe there's a way they want to do that is going to still be so much fun and is going to create a new tradition.
Another thing that you can do is reduce the number of gifts that you give per person. Now, with our kids, we generally give about 4 gifts.
3 or 4,
And there's a category for those gifts. One of them might be something that they want. It used to be a toy.
Something to read, something they need, something to wear, and something for fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You guys do the 4 gifts of Christmas too? And there's just different combinations of gifts that people use, different categories. Tell us how you do the 4 gifts of Christmas if you do that. And
frankly, we have found that less is more. You give them 4 good, meaningful gifts. If you can afford to give 4 gifts, that means a lot more than them being inundated with all kinds of presents.
You know, I think what's been interesting for us, and those of you with grown kids, you can tell me what you think. We actually, our overall Christmas gift budget as our kids have grown and moved away from home has actually gotten higher. I think this is probably the most we will ever spend on Christmas and have spent on Christmas. Everybody always asks us. So I will tell you before you ask in the comments section, all right? We spent about $100 a piece on each of our boys. And so our total Christmas budget is going to run somewhere around $500 for this year. It's the highest it's been in a really long time. But as our boys have grown away from home, I think that things they need category, yes, that's a lot of their gifts, is stuff that they need. And we always, as a tradition too, try to get the boys matching shirts. We have 4 boys, and now they're all kind of getting to be where they're the same size and they can all wear the same shirts. You know, like for a long time we had our 2 younger boys are so much younger than the older ones. Like you couldn't find shirts that were like little boy size and then also adult size, but now they're all pretty much in adult sizes. So it's gotten easier to find matching shirts for them.
Well, and with our 2 older boys now out on their own, it's easy to find things that they might need for their apartment. They share an apartment, so it makes it kind of easier to buy things. And then we allow them to give us a wish list. We will say, give us a wish list. What do you want? And then we can look it up and see what we can do to meet some of those wants.
So did you know your grown kids, if they have an Amazon account, can go on Amazon, create a wish list, call it Christmas 2021 wish list, make that list shareable. On Amazon, you either make it private or shareable. As long as it's shareable, they can send you a link and you can go right to their Christmas gift list on Amazon, and it's all clickable links and you go right to that item. So you know you're getting them something that they really, really want. All right, the next idea, have a gift challenge. This also, guys, is really fun. What's a gift challenge? It's where the whole group agrees these are the parameters, if you will, for gift giving this year, and it is deliberately like a game. It is like a challenge, and this is fun to do if you are doing all adults. A lot of people do just gift for the kids and the adults do something else. Well, this is our idea for kind of the something else for the adults. We're going to give you an ideas of some challenges that you could propose to your family and friends.
Well, you can find the most unusual, quirky, colorful, trendy gift that you can for $25.
Something that's just really weird and unique. And set a limit. Say $25, you got to find something that just like, what? Okay, so that is that. Unusual, quirky, colorful, trendy, however you want to call it, all right? Just set like the parameters by this is what we're looking for. The most colorful gift. That would be pretty easy.
And this next item, I
So
predominantly, when I'm buying for the family, I predominantly buy from thrift stores, and they love it. And I wouldn't want them to buy me new things either, frankly. So
We don't.
No. In fact, the lamp that's kind of covered up behind us, that was a gift that I gave Hope. I can't remember if it was your birthday or Christmas, but that was bought at a thrift store. So the other challenge would be shop at a secondhand store and buy a meaningful gift for no more than $25.
Yep. Everybody knows you're shopping thrift stores, but you can find so many interesting things that if you know somebody well enough, you can score like something that is totally amazing and perfect for them for a bargain price. And that's what the Adults Exchange is deliberately. Now, you got to have a family who's game on thrift stores, guys. But if your family is totally into thrifting, I bet this would be really fun. All right, here's another idea for a gift challenge. That would be the DIY gift challenge. The adults, we're going to exchange gifts, but it's all going to be DIY. No fair exchanging something that has been pre-made. You must make it yourself with your own 10 fingers.
And then you can use bartering as your only method of payment, procuring an amazing gift for the person whose name that you selected.
Okay, so this is where you don't spend any money on the gift. You just have something and you find something else somebody else has and you say, hey, I will trade you this for this. And you try to see how many layers you can trade up to get a little better and a little better and a little better gift. And so that's It's kind of fun. I base that off. There's a television program or something. Somebody tell me in the comment section, because I feel like it's in the back of my mind that there was actually a TV show, maybe on cable TV or something, where people couldn't spend any money. They just bartered their way to whatever they wanted to get.
Yeah, we've never practiced that one, but that's an interesting idea.
Now, one more caveat before we move on. If you're going to do a challenge gift exchange, you have to suggest it early. You can't, especially for people like us who like buy stuff throughout the course of the year. You need to tell people ahead of time, hey, I got this really great gift idea exchange for next year, and let them know well in advance, because those DIYs and that bartering and that thrift store stuff, that might take them a while to find the perfect gift for you, and you also for them. So make sure that if you're doing this, you do it way early, like maybe in the summer suggested, and make sure they have plenty of time to get their gift prepared.
So another way to reduce the amount of gifts that you have to buy is you draw from a hat names that you put in there. So you pick names.
And we did this for years with Larry's family. And there was a top dollar, like you exchange names, and it was $25 per person. You didn't spend any more than that. So you didn't buy for any of the rest of the siblings. You didn't buy for the nieces and nephews. You only bought for the person basically whose gift name you got. Now, only the adults did this. I don't think the kids did it, because everybody pretty much bought for the kids. Just saying.
The kids were in a different category, as I remember.
They get their own category for Christmas. Give me an amen in the comment section if you think I'm right. Kids, it's so much fun to buy for kids, isn't it? Usually the adults were the ones who were exchanging names and not the kids, because adults have everything we need. We don't need a lot, so we don't need gifts from 10 people. Just one is fine.
Now, kind of the flip side of that, and this is our next point, is that you buy gifts for only the kids, recognizing that most of us adults have all that we need. We buy things that we need throughout the year. And so you eliminate buying for adults by just concentrating on those gifts for the kids.
I will say, even when we went to this in Larry's family, I made homemade. I made like fudge or, candy or cookies for everybody else. I think to in a sense, we still exchange with them. It's just that it was in the form of highly caloric food that we exchanged with them, or we just gave them, and we didn't expect anything in return. We just wanted to let them know that we appreciated them. So even after we stopped drawing names in the hat and bought just for the kids, we still gave them something for Christmas that was homemade.
So the next point then would be to shop early. And the best time to shop would be the day after Christmas for the next Christmas.
Right. Start shopping. We need really early. Listen, we just actually did a video a few weeks ago. We'll make sure that it's linked up above and in the description of this video. We did a whole video on why you need to be shopping early for Christmas in 2021. And we gave you some tips and ideas in that video. So you might want to watch that next.
And it's not too late to shop early. I mean, you can still get some really good bargains right now. There's certainly things to buy. So this is going to be point number 8, because look at this. She put 2 6s.
Okay, so you know what? Look, the only thing, number 6 is a great number, and 2 number 6s seemed appropriate on my Christmas list. This is a bonus tip, guys. If you've been counting, this is really number 8. We'll call it a bonus tip so that, that I've not messed up.
She works really hard at doing these. So anyway, that's okay. So number 8 is opt out.
This is an extremely unpopular thing to do. Now, when the kids were young and we were raising them on one income, this is actually how we sort of transferred from the pick a name in the hat tradition to the we just buy for the kids tradition in Larry's family. Because Larry and I actually reached a point where we said we just don't have the money to buy, for the kids and exchange gifts with the adults, because it was a pretty high limit that they had set on the gifts. And so we just opted out, and it was not really popular. But what it did do, it resulted in sort of this metamorphosis in the family, if you will, where it became okay for us not to do that. That became something that was okay and it was accepted. But it allowed us to really enjoy the holidays with the family and realize that the most important thing was being together. And then I still made them the highly caloric food and gave them that as a sign of our appreciation. But it was far less expensive than it was to exchange names in the gift hat. So.
And we kept some of our other Christmas traditions, like singing Christmas carols, reading the Christmas story, just chatting and talking and enjoying the dinner. It was a good thing, I think, and it helped us to maintain our budget, of course.
Look, guys, the most important thing about Christmas is being with those that you love. That is, at the end of the day, connections, the most important thing, and expressing love and appreciation for family and friends. And we're going to say it one more time. And that doesn't mean that you have to spend a lot of money or go into debt to do it.
We want to give one more shout out for Creekmur Wealth Advisors. There's a link in the description. If you want to contact John Creekmur, he will be happy to talk over some financial aspects with you.
And we want to thank them for sponsoring the video today. Now, one more reminder, if you've enjoyed the forms that I have been showing throughout the program, they are yours. It's our gift to you guys, and it's absolutely free. It's an ebook, Debt-Free Christmas Gift Giving, and there's a link in the description of the video. Now, we mentioned that we had done a video a couple of weeks back on why you should be doing your gift buying early for Christmas in 2021. That's the next video you want to hit, guys, and it's right over there.